Hi friends, today we are at the Bandra Bandstand and I shall be speaking on Rahu. Before we go ahead with a discussion on Rahu, have you subscribed to our channel yet? If you have not, please do it, because every time we go to a new place, discuss new things, you will be notified and you will get to know what all exciting things we are doing. And do not forget to like this video and share it with your friends. What I have observed in the charts of many famous people, and I would say almost 90% of them, is that Rahu plays a very important role in giving either immense fame or immense wealth, or sometimes even both. Rahu usually is placed from the Lagna in the 1, 4, 7, 10 axis, or it can also be in the 1, 4, 7, 10 axis from moon, or else it is in the 1, 5, 9 axis. What does this mean? 1, 4, 7, 10 houses in our chart are the action houses called Vishnu Sthanas, and 1, 5, 9 houses in our chart are what is called the Lakshmi Sthanas. Let me now give you some examples where Rahu has played a very important role in giving the person immense fame and immense wealth. For example, Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan was a commoner and he became one of the biggest superstar in India. He has his Rahu in his 10th house. So what does Rahu in the 10th house do for Shah Rukh? It makes him focus on his career. It makes him very passionate about his career. Anywhere Rahu is placed makes us very passionate about that area. In case of Shah Rukh, it was his career. Remember, Rahu is a karmic planet, and so it was very karmic for Shah Rukh to focus on his career, and even this fame was what he had to get in this life. It was what his soul had come for. Now I shall be discussing how Rahu can give you fame if it is placed in your Lagna or on your 7th house. Because again, Rahu is in your action places, in your 1st house or in your 7th house. Shah Rukh's was in the 4th, 10th axis, which was career and home, and here we have Rahu in the Lagna. My next example will be of a person who has her Rahu in her Lagna. Rekha, who is and was an amazing actress, has her Rahu in her Lagna. It is this Rahu in her Lagna which gave her immense fame and immense wealth. In fact, one of her most prominent co-actor, Amitabh Bachchan, has his Rahu in his 7th house. Again, the Rahu in one of the action areas in 1st, 4, 7 or 10, and for Amitabh it is in the 7th, gave him immense fame. If we look at the charts of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, two very famous business person, they have their Rahu Ketu from their Lagna in the 1, 5, 9 axis. In fact, Steve Jobs also has it in his 1, 4, 7, 10 axis from his moon. So this is also an important aspect. We have to say Rahu Ketu is in the 1, 4, 7, 10 or 1, 5, 9 axis from the moon as well. For politicians, Rahu plays a very important part in making them famous, giving them power. For Narendra Modi and APJ Abdul Kalam, it is in their 159 axis once again. So we have to observe if Rahu is in any of these positions to see if there is any indication of immense fame or immense wealth or both. It has to be supported by other planets as well, and it is not just about Rahu being in the 7th, Rahu being in the 4th or 10th or 5 or 9. Because remember, Rahu and Ketu are karmic planets. So wherever they are, those are the houses where we have karmic lessons to learn. So if it is in the 4th house, it does not mean we have a bad mom. No. Never. It means that we have to focus on 4th house activities more in this lifetime, because Ketu will then be placed in the 10th house, and we have done 10th house activities. That means career related activities or something related with action in our previous lifetimes many times. And if it is sitting in the 5th house, it doesn't mean we have bad children or we'll lose our children. What it means is that we have to focus on our creativity, on our children, because that is the area we had not focused in our previous lifetimes. Ketu, which is sitting bang opposite to the 5th, indicates our friends, our income, and we have been focusing on those areas in our previous lifetimes. Rahu in the 9th does not mean your father is bad. It only means you have to focus on the 9th house indications. What are they? It means your higher education, your guru, your father, short trips abroad. You have to focus on these areas. And in fact, people who have Rahu in the 9th, yes, they may have a turmoil kind of a relationship with their father, but it is only when they can serve their father, they can go beyond their karma. So we have to be very careful how we interpret the charts. It is because, you know, they feel their father think they are not good enough. They will strive more to compensate their, either with their studies or by focusing on their inner growth, and that itself will make them go beyond everything and connect with their father as well. So we have to be very careful how we are interpreting Rahu and Ketu. And remember, Rahu and Ketu are not actual planets. They are shadows. They are astronomical points in the sky. Rahu and Ketu are the shadows that the earth casts on the sun when earth, sun and moon are on one line on a full moon day, or the moon casts on the sun when again sun, moon and earth are on one single line in a new moon day. So Rahu and Ketu, the mythology says, are not the best of friends with sun and moon. Why? During Samudra Manthan, churning of the ocean, when the gods had to bring out the Amrita from the bottom of the ocean, it was a difficult proposition. It was not easy, and it was also said that before the Amrita came out, what would come out is Garala. So they would require the help of the Asuras as well as Shiva to handle the poison that comes out initially. So Narayan said that once the Amrita comes out, I shall help you in getting the Amrita, and I shall see to it that the Asuras do not get it. Now, this whole story is very allegorical. I'll come to the allegory later. So, while after the Amrita came out, the Garala was swallowed in by Lord Shiva, Lord Narayan came as Mohini and as an amazingly, stunningly beautiful woman and started serving the Amrita. He started with the Devas. Now the Asuras were so enamored by her beauty that they did not even understand that Narayana was being very clever and giving the Amrita only to the Devas. The only Asura who understood it stealthily went to the line of the Devas and took a gulp of the Asura. Sun and moon had noticed this and they complained to Narayana. Narayana immediately took out his Sudarshan Chakra and beheaded that Asura. The head then became the knowledgeable Rahu and the tail became Ketu. So both Rahu and Ketu hence gives us moksha. That's very important. Now what does this story mean? Amrita is knowledge. Amrita is enlightenment, because it says when you drink Amrita, you become immortal. Our body does not become immortal. It is our inner Atma, our soul, that becomes immortal. And how will you become immortal? Only when you connect to your inner self, only when you get that self-knowledge. And what is the ocean? It is the samsara. And when you are churning, you get churned in this samsara, what comes out? are those poisons, those toxic relations, toxic situations. That is the Garala. And who gulps it down? You have to surrender them to the infinite, and that infinite is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva and Lord Narayan are two aspects of the infinite. And what are the Devas? Devas are people who have more of sattva. Naturally, they have inclination towards knowledge, and hence they move towards that enlightenment. And who are Asuras? Asuras are people. Sura means being in harmony. Asura means not being harmonious. People who are not in harmony with nature, with their own self. They are people who are driven by senses, and hence when Narayan came in front of them, instead of respecting, instead of having a sense of respect, they saw her as a woman. They saw her physicality. Asuras get stuck in the physicality of a person. They cannot see the divinity and go beyond the physicality to see the divinity in that person. And hence, for them, knowledge will not come because they're stuck in the senses, which is why they get deprived of it. So it is not an unfair world where it is an upper caste and lower caste, or upper class and lower class, nothing. Sura and Asura is in us. When we are sattvic, when we have an inclination towards knowledge, we get Amrita. When we do not have an inclination towards knowledge, we won't get Amrita. And the poison has to be surrendered to the infinite, to Lord Shiva. And it is again that infinity, as Lord Hari or Lord Narayana, who comes and gives us that Amrita. So Rahu Ketu is a very karmic planet. There is no actual graha. Rahu shows those areas we have to concentrate in this lifetime. We are born because we have some karmic balances to fulfill, and Ketu are the areas we have been doing many times in our previous lifetime. So Rahu, Ketu, do not get scared. Oh my God, this person is bad, and don't start becoming all judgy and labeling people, and it might even be your own parents. No, if they are pushing your buttons, remember they are actually your best friend for your soul. If you are liking our video, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel, like our video and share it with your friends.